You're listening to 94XO.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm excited. Thank you for doing my interview with
So
me.
what's up?
Oh, how has your quarantine been, first off?
My quarantine has been, I guess, eventful.
Are you in New York right now? I didn't know if I seen some pictures of you like in Florida and stuff. Are you
Yeah, I'm in New York. I'm back home in New York right now, but I went down to Florida for a few days
okay?
because it was just too cold out here and too depressed. And these
Yeah.
lines, I'm just like, no.
Okay, so I seen actually that. First off, let's introduce you, Stunna Dior. You guys, for the people that don't know who she is, like I said before, if you are watching, she is a fashion published model. She is a TV personality. She is also doing some music I've seen on your page. She's been um, doing her entrepreneurship things like that. So we're gonna get into that. But let's start off with you are from Arizona.
Yeah.
So, how has that culture shock been from going from the Arizona to New York?
Okay, so originally I was born in Detroit.
Okay.
So I had like a separate culture shock moving from there to Arizona because I moved like right at like middle school. So I have like memories, prominent memories in Detroit
Mm-hmm.
versus like living in Arizona. The
Okay.
environment changed between that and it being like predominantly like Hispanic, like it's Mexicans in Arizona. So it's like, being uh like I was like the minority. It was like a whole switch up. I'm like the new tall black girl
Yeah.
from Detroit. They're like suburban, like it was different. They called me Detroit for a while because they were just like, "That's that girl from Detroit." Like,
Well,
don't.
how do you feel about that though? If they're calling you Detroit, like, did it make you feel insecure in any type of way, or?
Oh yeah, I think like my high school experience was really unique because um I feel like not like I feel like I was outcasted a lot, but I was a part of all of the crowds, but I was just outcasted for being different. Like I was into like Tumblr and shit, so I was into everything that was going on in New York, like their style and everything. And down there, then were like Dickies,
Yeah,
laid back Uggs, So I was down there, black lipstick, combat boots. They was like, "What type of shit is
they're
you on?"
like,
So every day, like people, yeah, every day I had like there was something. Like even when my friends would come to school, and if I wasn't there, there was something. Like the teachers, the adults, it was just always something. Like
hmm.
it was weird, but
When did you decide that you wanted to go pursue your career and say, I'm going to New York?
I always knew that I wanted to come here from when I was a kid. Like from when I lived in Detroit, I always was like a fan of all the movies that were done in New York. I was a fan of Broadway. Like, I grew up going to performing arts schools. I went to like Winans Academy of Performing Arts, the Winans family. They have like school in Detroit. It's really big as a charter school, but it's a performing arts school. So I grew up in art. So I just knew that I was gonna come here eventually at some point and pursue like my career. I just didn't know necessarily how it would go or what it would be.
Okay. And how long have you been out there so far?
I've been here for this is my 6th year now.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm jealous. See, I always wanted to go to New York. It just never, I visited once, never been back yet. But girl, New York is expensive, first off.
It's expensive, but I was just thinking about this and I was thinking like, I feel like because this is the first place that I moved, these are all of the expenses I know. I only know expensive. So it's not like I really have something to compare it to because my rent has been
Come
expensive
to
as
the
long as I've
Midwest.
had to pay.
Come to the
Huh?
Midwest. A little bit cheaper here in St. Louis.
Yeah, no, now, of course, when I traveling, I'm like picking up cereal, milk. I'm like, what? Cereal like $2? Like, what? It's like $5 here. I know, like, now I'm noticing things. Like, I'm definitely ready to move,
So now,
ready to go.
so now that you're in New York, you've had so many different experiences playing your career. You've done like a lot of fashion shows I've seen. You've been in music videos. You've also done some commercials. I saw that you were in Times Square, so congrats on that. What has been your best experience so far that you can share with us?
I'm sorry, my best experience in just like the industry or like
You working in the industry, what has been your best experience working?
I have so many.
Oh,
Like I feel like everything is so special, and I've been doing this. I was lucky when I first got to New York. Within like the first month, 2 months that I lived in the city, like I
mm-hmm.
met my first managers walking down the street, and they already were plugged in. So I was kind of working from like the moment I got here. So I've had like unique moments. Every set that I go to, like I might just pull up to be an extra, and then the next thing you know, I'm in like the opening introduction of movies and stuff. And I always will go to like the movie theaters to check them out. So I feel like I have so many, I can't like compare and be like, oh, I love this moment or
Mm-hmm.
this celebrity more, because I enjoy it. I really do enjoy all, like, and I do so many different things, music videos and movies and different sets. Like they all have like different. It's not like a comparison of them. Each thing is different.
Yes, so for people that don't know how that experience is, how would you describe how it is to actually be on the set of doing, let's say, a music video or even just being in a fashion show, how much hard work it is behind the scenes?
I think that like runway shows are so hectic behind the scenes and that people don't even know. Runway shows and movie sets, because those are really, really annoying. You're there for like sometimes 12 hours, 16-hour days, like standard is 8, but most of the time you're going overtime and you're there for like 16 hours. You get like 2 lunch breaks.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably standing in place of that venue, like, for hours, and you can't really, like, you get time to socialize, but you're
Yeah.
really in the scene of the movie. So, and then they're shooting those takes over and over again. So I feel like that's like one thing that people probably don't expect, because when you're there, it's like, okay, this is cool, but it's really like it's a drag. You're really exhausted, and you have to, and you're working projects weeks at a time. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
that's a consistent schedule and different locations, and it's always, like hair, makeup, da da da. Like that's a really long process. And
Yeah.
I feel like fashion shows, it's always hectic because they're doing last minute fittings, and then like with shows it's live. Like you never know what's gonna happen. People's outfits are ripping like backstage. Like you can't practice what's gonna happen. Girls are falling on the stage. The show is like showtime, and then the next girl has to get out. She can't get her zipper up. Now like the show can't be held up. It has to look flawless. So behind the scenes of fashion shows are crazy. Makeup changes. You get like 1 minute to change your outfit and your hair and everything and get back out there and just hit and be composed like nothing just happened. So there's like 10 people tugging you, a bunch of naked girls just like throwing clothes and like makeup artists on your face. Like fashion shows are a whole nother movie like in itself.
So would you say that doing fashion shows, compared to doing a music video, like has that been harder for you when it comes to getting yourself together, like with the pressure and things like that? Like have you had
Yeah,
like
fashion shows are definitely harder. I love music videos. I low key feel like I got a little niche for the video camera, like versus the actual photography camera, because it's
yeah.
really hard to get a flawless still frame. But if you can move with the camera and like know your lights and your
I say
angles,
everybody cannot be a model. I tried to do it. First off, I'm too short, but I tried to do it when I was like
that
13.
doesn't matter no more. That doesn't matter no
It
more.
mattered when I tried to do it, and the lady was like, "Look, you're too short. You maybe be able to do pictures." She said, "But you do not have that walk." And I was like, "Oh my God, I never tried again."
But you're beautiful, and you know what? There's so many different types of modeling that there
Hmm.
is. Like even your cozy style right now. Like, look, we're in the same like look. We got our little dad hats going in our tees. Like that's a whole different. There's something for everybody. It's
Wait, let's wait. Now let's talk about. I know you know I'm gonna talk about it. You were in the video stunt double for Meg the Stallion. How was that experience for you? Like that's dope.
Wait, oh my God, my signal is breaking up. Is it clear for you guys?
It's clear over here.
All right, cool. All right. So, that was super fire. I'm not gonna lie. That was really, really fun. And one thing that like a lot of people don't like, since Megan has came out, everybody now, like, my life is low-key changed because every time I'm going somewhere, people are like, you know who you look like, you know who you
Yeah.
remind me of, you know, ever since she dropped. And there was never anyone that people could figure out who I looked like before. So people will always stop because we're both tall, you know. I don't know. I don't got the yams, but uh, so working with her was super fire. She's just like, she's a lot of celebrities are not really like their personalities. They don't really have much, or they're different from what you imagine them. But she's just like how she is in everybody's videos. Like, she's super friendly, outgoing. She's super fire. You know what I mean? Like, she seen me before I seen her, so she came out and she was like, "Oh my God, look, it's me!" Like, she was like, "Hey, friend." I was like, "Hey." I turned around and like, "Hey," like, you know what I mean? She looked so good. You know, it was really dope because I was actually booked for the role of like the dancing girls, and there was another girl that was originally booked to play Meg, even though I had casted for that. But the girl that got there, she didn't look anything like her. She was really short and stuff, so you know, that I wound up getting switched into that role. So they were like, you know, you're not going to be seen as much because it's the double, but I was able to get like really dope alone time. We were riding around Brooklyn for like 2 hours shooting this scene, driving the Rolls Royce. Like, we were riding around Brooklyn for like 2 hours. It's just me and her. It was super cold outside, but you know, we were getting to talk. We have a lot in common. We're both like, our birthdays are like 3 days apart, and we're both only child. So, and I rap too. So
that's awesome.
we just like chatting.
How has your opportunities been though since that has happened? Like, I've already seen you've had so many different things you're doing. Like, you're, like you say, you're doing music, you're doing fashion, you're doing acting and things like that. But has it actually changed more since you were in that video?
I can't even say that's the reason. Or I mean, I feel like a lot of people have given me notice because of that. Like, everywhere I go, people are like, "Yo, I seen that you did this." It didn't boost like whether I did this gig or anything like that, because all the stuff that I had working was already in progress.
Right.
But as far as like recognition, like, people are dead hype about it. Like, "Oh my God, that was so amazing." Everybody asks me like all about her. How was she? You know, I don't know. People always think that I'm just about to hook them up with her now. Like, I
But that's an awesome experience. Like, I'm happy you got to do that. And I've seen like you've been in different places with celebrities, and like with your fashion line, it's called Vulgar, right? Let me make sure I'm pronouncing it right before we could.
yeah, you got it.
I saw like one of your videos. Was it Rasby's girlfriend or something? She was wearing your clothing line. And then you've had fashion shows and stuff for it. So can you talk about like the beginning of when you decided like, oh, I need to work on my fashion
Oh
line,
my
get this
God.
out here?
Oh my God. I'm trying to make out. Sorry, it broke up at the end for me. My signal, I guess it's my signal
Let me see.
on my end, but I heard up until you said, "Can I talk about my experiences?" Did you say starting the
Oh,
line, or what it's been since
yes.
then?
You could talk about, or you could talk about the fashion line. Like, when did you decide that you were ready to make one and become an entrepreneur? And how has it been so far having your own business?
Okay, so I feel like earlier when I was talking to you about living in Arizona and just my history is just like being a little bit outcast or having a different style than other people.
Mm-hmm.
At that moment was kind of when I realized that I wanted to be involved with fashion. At that time, like, people always was like, "Oh, you're gonna go to school. You're gonna go to school and be for fashion design." Like, that's what they thought that I was gonna go into. I went into business on the business side of things, but I feel like it was time after I started after modeling. You get to see like the ins and outs on both sides of things. Like, you're a model, so you get to see different designers. Plus, you get to be a model and understand like what it is to be on the other side, like the fit of clothes, materials. You kind of get like you get all types of different sneak peeks of how you look at it. Photography,
Mm-hmm.
videography. Damn, my signal is really, really breaking up. But
It's
at that point I feel like it was a perfect time for me to decide to like launch a line. I incorporated my company like 4 years ago
okay.
when I just turned 20. I started my LLC for my company. I started my LLC for my company, and it wasn't till last year, this past January, that I just like launched the line with all the clothes and visuals. It was a process of just putting things together the right way and making sure that it was quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could just drop clothes online, but when I did it, I wanted to make sure I had a commercial to launch, you know, making sure that I had right marketing and
Yeah.
the right models, the right the right representatives to make sure that my brand looked the correct way. Because, as you know, I do fashion, so I feel like I can't just put out shit halfway. I'm working with all of these people, and then I just drop something. I feel like I just wanted to put something together that was a creative project of everything that I learned in the history of, like, you know, working with different artists.
So if you were able to pick up one of your lines of clothes and say, go to an artist or a celebrity, whoever, who would be your first person to be like, hey, this is for you?
I gave something to Meg. I gave her some stuff when I did the shoot.
Oh,
I
did
brought some stuff for her.
you? See, I couldn't
Yeah.
if you did or not. And that is so
Yeah, I did. She was like, she loves gifts, so she was hyped. I brought her some really fire glasses and a choker.
Oh, and I also saw that you had one video where you wore your clothes on TRL when they were on. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So do you wear your,
Yeah.
well, your line is probably more high end. But I was gonna say, do you wear your line like all the time? Like, so my guy, he wears,
Yeah, these earrings are my line.
okay, I would say he wears his everywhere.
Vince earrings.
His hat is 39 castles, and he wears his hat everywhere. And everywhere we go, we gotta put the hat on. We gotta put a hat on, or we gotta put.
Low key, every outfit on my page is probably something from my line. Like I wear my line all the time.
That's dope.
I incorporate pieces. It's just like my natural everyday style is, I mean, it depends based on day, but I like to wear stuff that's like it pops, like that's different. You know what I mean? Like if it's something that you wouldn't normally pick up, I probably have that type of piece. Like my closet is all over the place, and I kind of wanted a line that people could mix and match with like their everyday clothes and,
Yeah,
you know, still stand out. Like I had artists in mind when artists are performing, like the performance look, you know, birthdays, just like I'm Stunna. This is the brand. It's Vulgar. The name is Vulgar. The style says it all. Like that's what I had in mind in creating. I kind of keep it consistent against that.
and I saw that you had your, or I don't know if it's when you actually launched your line, but you were featured in a magazine called BB Magazine, and you had all your
Yeah.
everything in there. So what is the experience like seeing your line or just seeing yourself in general, like in all these different magazines and like on TV and stuff? Like, how does that make you feel as a person?
You know, honestly, I always talk about how you working before I was working as just a model and I was trying to get published, wearing other people's brands. You know, you're shooting all the time. The goal is to get published, get published, get published. So it's just like I was always chasing that when working with other people, and I always talk about like it wasn't until I took creating of my own, like my own self and my own projects, that all of these opportunities started opening doors and creating themselves. You know what I mean? Like more in in 1 year than I was published in 3 4 years, you
Mhm.
know, living in New York. I was, and it was all my line, and it was all creative directed by me. I did the hair, the makeup for the models, I helped with the set building, and I'm like modeling in there. So it's like I always realize how I feel like once you finally put your passion and you take control of it, like the universe, it will show you what's, you know,
Yeah,
it'll open up different doors for you, you know.
definitely. That says, do you have pop-up shops, events in other cities? We would love to see your style come to the Midwest. Yes, girl, come to the Midwest.
Yes, like where you based at?
St. Louis.
St. Louis?
Mhm.
Okay. So I know I mean I have connections out in DMV and stuff like that. I'm definitely um having the idea of a Vulgar boutique, because Vulgar is a lifestyle brand. So it's for everything. You guys are gonna see like more more things other than fashion coming from Vulgar soon.
Mhm.
But I definitely want a Vulgar boutique. I'm looking into, like, you know, maybe Atlanta, other places where down south maybe, and eventually having some things in California and
Okay.
LA as well, branching out other than New York,
Yeah, that's gonna be dope. So has quarantine helped your creative juices a little more since you're a little at home more, have more time to think about things?
Damn. No, honestly, it hasn't. I'm just like stressed out because I'm like, oh my God, the world's gonna end. And if this is gonna be happening, like when are we able to get back to creating? Like everything in New York is still shut down, and
Yeah.
for the creatives are all calling each other trying to create. But it's like I'm more like stressed out. Like when can I get back to work? I have a whole bunch of opportunities and things that are gonna like further my career,
Hmm.
but it's just a matter of when the world is going to open. So I think that's what my mind has been on more in quarantine than just creatively thinking, because I'm always like thinking of what's the next big thing or what's my next move.
I was gonna say because your quarantine I feel like is totally different than ours out here. Like we have things that are closed, but people are really kind of just out and about still over here. Like they're just going to the park, they're chilling. So I don't know in New York, like the stories that I've seen on my side where they're like everything is shut down. You can't do anything. So that's why I was one or curious about how it was for you guys out there. Because here it's like everybody's like, okay, whatever. Like it is what it is. But
I
okay, somebody said you've been riding with Dre.
don't know what they talking about. Dr. Dre.
She been but no, I just showed the people that was still on the live that your song that you got on Instagram is called Splish Splash. So
Yeah.
you shot some of these shots in Ghana. How was that?
Yeah, so I shot pretty much the whole thing over there, like on the fly too. I'm gonna be honest, that video was on the fly. I did not know I was shooting that video. All of the looks was just like straight out the luggage, pieced together at the end of my trip, because I was like worn down and it was bad by that point because I had already probably been there for like 2 weeks before I shot that video.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was super amazing though. The videographers that I work with, they are both from Nigeria, but they had happened to they were working with my mom's company. My mom has a travel company,
Okay.
and it's called Green Book Travel. Check it out if anybody wants to take plug any trips to Africa, any trips, I know she does Brazil, Egypt, Senegal. Check it out. Somebody can drop the Instagram down there and pin it.
So,
Check that out too. So yeah, because she's in there. That's her talking Six Wonder too. So just check her out because she's super dope. She has a lot of different things. But we're down there working on that project.
okay.
And she had her own video team there. They were super amazing. This is like one of their first music videos that they were shooting for, like, a rap video that was for America, that was for a female artist. So they were excited about it and seeing like my body of work, and just like, that was just a dope experience all together, and shooting the scenes, being outside, everybody's looking around like, who is this girl? What is this song? What is this rubbish that's playing out loud?
So you've been traveling like to a lot of different places, a lot out of the country. How do you tie that into your fashion line? Being able to see like
So
these different things.
yeah, I feel like, all these different countries, their cultural pieces, they all have like different cultural prints. When we go to the markets, so I'm sourcing like different fabrics from the marketplace and bringing them back. I actually was just talking with a designer yesterday about a new collab for a swimsuit line, for a summer line that I'll be launching with some fabrics that I brought back from Ghana last time. So all of those pieces will be handmade with like, actual fabric that was from there. I feel like I take that a lot into play of what my looks are, and even I have an Asian dress and
Mm-hmm.
swimsuit line that's coming this summer. I that's more, I guess, cultural appropriation, but I got that. I traveled to Hong Kong, Philippines, like all of the looks, everything that I take.
That's exciting. Okay. So where do you see yourself in 5 years with everything that you're doing now? Such a hard
Man, 5 years is so close. 5 years is really close because I've been in New York for 5 years and it's just like I blinked my eyes and it's like, where did it go? So I definitely think I've accomplished a lot though in this
definitely.
5 years with way less knowledge than what I have now. So I plan to like, keep learning and applying all of the things that I'm learning in my craft and all the connects and the opportunities that I make, even, sharing my platform with people like you and like, people coming, the people that are watching and joining, like if you guys reach out to me, like I'm willing to always work, learning different opportunities. So in the next 5 years, I plan on seeing Vulgar being a household name, like a Dow's Kill or Fashion Nova or something like that
Mm.
big. Vulgar is definitely going to be huge. The music career, maybe one or two albums out by then. And definitely you guys are going to see me acting and doing some other like maybe philanthropy work.
Okay, you're good on my side.
It's really making me sad that it's like this connection is
Girl,
really bad.
technology is something. Let me tell you, technology is something. Vulgar pop-up shop. It said, wait till quarantine is done and we can work something out. This pop-up shop.
Yes,
We got a house.
for sure. Come to New York.
Girl, I will come to New York. That's actually where I wanted to be. Like I see myself. I tell my friends all the time, like, yeah, I want to be in New York because at first I wanted to do journalism, and then life happens. But I'm still in St. Louis trying to do my thing. What are you currently working on with your music?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not sure whether I'm gonna do a project. I'm not sure whether I want it to be like, I don't think I want it to be an album or if I want it to be that steep because I just when I put it out, I just want it to be right. I want to, and I have, I'm versatile with the flows, I'm versatile with the style. I want to be able to give y'all hot music videos that I create. I want to be able to, give the deliver, put out a project. So if everybody's rushing me, and if everybody's rushing me,
So you can't rush.
it's probably gonna be. It's gonna probably we're
You can't rush.
gonna do something. I'm gonna have some music coming to you, dropping some singles, and next couple months I'm gonna drop the full Splish Splash. It'll be down on all platforms. Um, Featured with my bro John Doe, he's on the song with me, and me and him are also working on a project together. With the collab, so maybe a little EP where it's just like a few songs with me and him, or we have another person that we work with named Rolly Rambo. He's super fire. We might do just a 3 joint album. And I was just listening to tracks like New York, Wu-Tang style feel. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna come at you guys, but I'm just gonna come. And when I come, then that's it.
Yeah. But I appreciate you jumping on live with me. Like, I'm really excited. I'm glad to know, like, how down to earth you are. Like, this is really cool to do.
Oh, thank you. I'm like super bummed, like, cause I want to chat more, but my signal on my end, I know everybody's like, we can hear you and see you. I know that's not the problem. I couldn't hear anything you were saying. It was just like completely going out and it was coming back in. And I'm just like, oh, I want to be able to properly answer the questions. And, so the signal on my end was crap. I wasn't able to fully be, deliver the best interview that I could for you. But I'm more than welcome to like come and sit down with you anytime. Come back on live. We could do it again. We could chat some more because I have like, tons of new projects, tons of opportunities. I want to talk about like young entrepreneurs and give, tips, advice, and just chat a little bit more another time. So maybe we can do something like that in the future.
Oh, she's a perfectionist. Yes, you are. Oh, that's
And I love your energy too.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Make sure you stay in touch with me. Come and stay in
I'm gonna have to send you some vulgar.
Girl, make sure
So
let me see our address. I'm
hit
for
me with your
sweats.
address, and I have to send you something.
Okay, I'm gonna DM you though. But thank you for the interview. Stay safe. Stay in the house.
You're listening to 94XO.